Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to wherever you may be in the world watching this video. So I guess you figured out who we're talking about, who we've been talking about, who we're going to continue speaking of. Claressa Shields, the GOAT, seems to be on an upward trajectory with her career, with her, well, let me just not say career, I'll say careers, because she's doing several things right now at the same time, and a lot of people are wondering whether things are going to work out. Still a little premature to say that she's going to perform to her potential or she's going to not perform to her potential. But what I will say is Claressa Shields has just landed a transformational multi-fight music partnership with Salida Promotions and Win Records. And everybody's been hearing about this and the roughly $8 million guarantee, plus bonuses, promotional backing, the jets, the jury, the pet lion and tiger, the caviar, and everything else that comes with a historic deal like this. It's a watershed moment for women's boxing and for Shields as a blossoming crossover star. Now, this is my thing. The money, where's it coming from? We did a live last night and people were talking about it's a 360 deal and don't believe it. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have any reason to not believe it. We just have to sit back and wait and see how everything plays out. There's so many different conversations and so many interesting points that the audience brings up during our 9 p.m. Central Standard Time live call-ins. That is just too much for me to sit down here and try to put out a video. The best thing for you to do is tune into those call-ins and listen to the callers and get involved in the comment section and the chat and enjoy it. But this guarantee that she's supposed to be receiving, it buys her time, creative room, and negotiating leverage she didn't seem to have before. She's no longer just a champion in the ring. She's a packaged entertainment property, which means fighter, media personality, and recording artist. We were talking about this last night. How are you going to be a fighter, but also a media personality and also a recording artist at the same time? In my opinion, you had to pick one unless you're just so special of a talent when it comes to fighting, when it comes to managing the media, when it comes to being the rapper-dapper. I would think if you have a basket full of eggs, that maybe some of them may crack because you got too many. Basket can only hold so much. They start to overflow. Now you got a goddamn omelet on your brand new sneakers. And in my opinion, when it comes to boxing, 100% of your focus should be on boxing, on that sport. When you start to spread yourself thin, bad things happen. And let's be real, nobody wants to see Claressa lose her next fight and then make excuses. And now she got to go Justin Timberlake, cry a river on the shoulder of her man. Papoose, pat, 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 pat. We don't want that. So to me, when you have all this stuff going on that changes how every decision, training camp, sponsor deal, music video, relationship drama, lands publicly, you'll want to start the show by saying, this deal gives her enormous upside, but it also multiples. Let me tell you something. This multiples of millions of dollars and multiples of this and that, all that sounds good. But you know what else she's going to get? She's going to also get multiples of consequences, especially when and if she missteps. That's just a fact. What the young people say, that's no blue hat, blue hat, blue hat. This ain't no blue hat. But it looks like the brand could be exploding. What does this $8 million mean? What is it? Now, the immediate effect of this $8 million deal, and this is just me, you know what I'm saying? I could be wrong. I'm just having a conversation. It seems to be threefold. Financially, Shields now has a guaranteed runway to pick fights that matter or to take fewer fights and command bigger purses. She can invest in elite coaching, which I think she has pretty good coaching already, but campaign style promotion. Oh, I can't wait till they have the first promotion with Win Records behind it. There's going to be some DJs and turntables, probably be somebody throwing gang signs and crip walking in the goddamn boxing ring. And long-term IP, documentaries, podcasts, fashion, and boxing academies. Now, promotionally, Win Records brings music marketing channels, playlists, music video placement, and cross-promotional social campaigns. It's my understanding. And that's something mainstream boxing promoters rarely offer female fighters. Then there's culturally, right? Culturally, the move pushes Shields into pop culture territory. If she can remain there, that's a whole nother story. But she could be pushed into pop culture territory, where she becomes not just a sports figure, but a personality that music, TV, and lifestyle brands either embrace or criticize. That line between being a champion and being a celebrity is where fortunes are made and where reputations are lost. The next questions are, does she want to be primarily a boxer who raps or a mainstream entertainment star who boxes? That decision will shape everything that we see next and also shape the discussions that people are going to have about Claressa Shields in the future. And I think it's important that we table that discussion on if Claressa Shields has made a decision or if someone's made a decision for her to be a mainstream entertainment star first and a boxer second. Now to that I say, in the most respectful way, hey yo, hold your horses and stop taking it to the stupid. Those of us who've been following Claressa Shields' career, who felt she should have been a gazillionaire a long time ago, we were just waiting for the opportunity for her to go and just skyrocket, man, to a whole nother stratosphere with the riches and the everything and the happiness and the praise and lauding and everything she deserves for what she's accomplished as a fighter since she was a young girl, right? But one thing for sure, this ain't it, is the opinion most of us share. Be a boxer first. Be a boxer second. Be a boxer third. Be a boxer fourth. And y'all get the idea. And the whole thing being the rapper-dapper, do that on the side in between fights. Don't let it take away from nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to hear no shit when you lose or the training camp went a kind of way, because now you have training camp, but then on the weekend, on your day off, they want you to go do a show or to go show up here and support an event. Nah, your day off, you should be relaxing, not out there with the mic in your hand. You know what I'm saying? And you're chilling and cooling just like a snowman. Nah, we don't want that. Leave it alone. Now, this rapping thing, I don't know the direction it's going to go. If they do it right, maybe there could be some immediate brand opportunities. Now, what we got to understand is, I'm going to assume there is some guaranteed money there, right? And if that's the case, with guaranteed money and a label behind her, Shields can monetize across multiple revenue streams. Now, from what I'm understanding from just listening to the audience, and we don't know, it's a conversation, so don't poke us in the eyeball, McNicholas. It sounds like they're saying Claressa Shields could be in a 360 deal. Now, I don't know much about that. I ain't, into the whole music and entertainment. I really don't give a shit. But my understanding is whatever she does to generate revenue, if she's in a 360 deal, then the music company, Win Records, will benefit as well. So if she does a movie and she makes money off of that, they get a percentage of anything she does. Okay, they make money. So when I sit here and think about her monetizing across multiple revenue streams, it seems like that Win Records, if she's in a 360 deal, and if the 360 deal, the way it was defined last night by some of the audience members, is in fact something where no matter what she does, the music company gets a percentage, that's going to be pretty interesting to me. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I would want to come out here and come across a sponsorship deal, a branding deal, or I come out here and somehow get involved in that IT world and come up with something that takes off, and all of a sudden I'm here making hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're sitting back collecting a percentage because I signed this contract. But again, it's just a conversation, we don't know. But that's just what the audience members were conveying last night during our live. Now, as far as the sponsors and packages, look, my understanding when you have a machine behind you and big money, that sponsor packages increase because brands pay more to align with people who have multi-platform reach. Music opens up licensing opportunities in TV and film. Merchandising and tour revenue become options, and content deals like documentaries, reality series are much likelier. But there seems to be a catch. Brands and broadcasters value predictability. The GOAT blends controversial music content with in-ring behavior that's polarizing, the fewer family-friendly deals I think she'll land. So the opportunity is real and massive, but conditional. And that's important to understand, is the conditional piece. And that's where we got to wait and see how all this plays out. Nevertheless, if she executes smartly, the next 1, 2, 5 years could look like a business empire rather than just a fight record. And that's what we're hoping for. But first and foremost, she needs to apologize to Layla Ali and the Muhammad Ali family. She needs to get that out the way, but she probably won't do it. But she needs to, because I'm going to keep saying it till I'm blue in the damn face. That shit she did was insensitive and trashy. Going at Layla Ali and bringing up Muhammad Ali's name. But I'm not going to say that again in every video I say it, so I'm becoming a broken record. But you know what? I don't care. Now, the creative freedom and brand risk. I'm trying to understand how music content choices map to sponsorship. You see, I don't know. I'm telling y'all I don't know. I'm just having a conversation, so I'm kind of just thinking out loud. I know music gives creative freedom. That's why this seems attractive. But every lyric becomes a brand statement when you're a high-profile athlete. And it doesn't matter what you're doing. When you're the top 1% of whatever you do, you gotta watch what you do and say. It's just the world. It's a lifestyle you have to accept. It's a reality you have to accept. If you want that Wu-Tang cream, cha-ching, ching, dollar bill, y'all, you better be cool with that. Paparazzi, snap, 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 all up in your ass. It's going to suck. You better be ready for that, what's that called when people out here, man, sitting there judging you? For that public judging. Look at her. Bad decision, bad decision. That's how it goes, man. Now, if Shields follows anthemic, motivational, or empowerment tracks, she expands her audience and protects sponsor relationships. I saw that thing where her and Pap were announcing her, well, he announced her signing to Win Records. But they were playing a song there, right? Because, I can't listen to that Claressa Shields music. But there was a song. I can't lie, you know what I'm saying? It was a song where they were singing, like, Claressa Shields. And I was like, what the hell is that? And let me tell you, I didn't hear the whole thing. That may have been the hook. Then everything else could have been about, stabbing, robbing, biting ankles, throwing hot cups of yogurt at each other. I don't know what the lyrics entail, but what I can tell you is the little hook got my attention. And I was like, that's what we need to be doing here. Now remember, I'm just a casual guy when it comes to her and her music. I don't listen to it. I don't care. I see little clips and I don't like none of it. But that one song, I'm not going to lie. I was like, okay, they may be on to something. And then I was watching her body language. She was showing all 32 teeth. All 32 teeth. And they were white too. I said, God damn, Claressa Shields. Claressa 32 Teeth Shields. She was feeling that song. She wasn't frowning. She wasn't ready to hit him up like Tupac. She wasn't ready to run up on you and shank you. No, man. Think I even almost caught a little bit of the Holy Ghost. However, that shit won't matter if she pivots into violent gangster rap and continue with that bullshit she's been doing. Yeah, something on your heart on the internet. Nobody want to hear that. Hardcore lyrics, glamorizing criminality, naming, targeting individuals. That opens fast, short-term streams, which is true, but it risks long-term sponsor flight. They're going to be up out of here. Nobody want to attach themselves to that bullshit. This ain't NWA, gangster. Them days are over. NWA had their run. Even down there, Luke, 2 Live Crew with all their little crazy-ass lyrics. They had their run. It's over. I don't care what you say. People will always frown upon that nonsense. And with her being a 2-time gold medalist, she should be definitely pursuing a different demographic, man. Not the goddamn TikTokers. Give them something edgy. That's cool. But don't give them something, man, that, 30 years from now you'll regret, because now here there's a 2-time gold medalist that has this song about shooting and killing and biting and punching and you ain't hard and you're an MNFer and this and that. That ain't what you expect of a 2-time gold medalist. I'm not saying... I am going to say it. You're held to a different standard. It is what it is. You got to accept it. I'm going to say it again. When you're the top 1% of something, shut up. Accept your reality. There's some things that, you know what? You can do it, but accept the consequences. So you should really recondition your mind and say, you know what? I can't do that. You know what? You should say that. I can't be out here cussing. I can't be out here talking about killing. Probably can't dress scantily clad. No one's saying you shouldn't want to look and feel nice and speak with confidence and be a little bit edgy in your music, but you can't take it to the stupid. Hey, yo, hold your horses. Easy, McNicholas. Tell you what, boy, corporate partners and mainstream media operate with low tolerance for violent or targeted content. Some will walk faster than you can say controversy. They're up out of there. So Shields must pick this is just my opinion now, must pick an artistic lane and then test it slowly. Lean in to music that increases mainstream acceptability first. Then use smaller releases or features to test edgier material if she wants to. It doesn't seem to be what happened here. It's like we got the edgier stuff, the kind of stuff where it's like, yo, if she runs up on you, she will definitely lock onto your ankle and bite you with them 32 teeth. She seems to be aggressive. Claressa Cujo Shields. That's what I get when I listen to that music. But bottom line, maybe she's just been experimenting and they've kind of fine-tuned things, and she's going to drop a really inspirational, motivational album. It's going to be something where we sit back here and instead of laughing or or cringing. We're out here, dancing and clapping our hands and saying, "Good job, she did it." But the bottom line is, who knows? She may jump in the river of man-eating crocodiles butt naked and try to swim across halfway and splash the water and just to attract them so they could come and gobble her ass up, because if she starts trying to operate dual careers and things fall apart, she going to fall apart as well. She ain't going to be able to handle that. You got to understand, when you have dual careers, you got schedules, teams, you got approval gates, you got all kind of shit going on. I remember back in the day, they had me as a superintendent of 2 different sections. I did not want that, but they just saw the potential and they put me as a superintendent of 2 different sections. That shit sucked. It wasn't fair, but because I can handle business, and they say the person with the strongest shoulder has to carry the heavier weight load, right? And that shit sure as hell is true. I learned to shut up and listen a whole lot. We have a saying: know what you know, don't show what you know. And I learned that shit the hard way, because when you out here talking about what you know and people realize you can do certain things, they will sit there, man, and burn your ass out. So as I started to progress through my career, I learned to just, become very, very reticent. You didn't really get too much out of my ass. Not in front, especially in front of people who could affect my job placement. You weren't going to do that shit to me again. And I think it's kind of similar to like running parallels with boxing and music careers. I think when you do that, it requires a governance structure. I don't know, man. Maybe she should have like a separate but coordinated teams with clear decision gates. But then you start bringing in too many people, that's a problem. But for sure, when it comes to the music and boxing, they should be independent of each other as far as the teams. The boxing team, got your head coach, strength and conditioning, cut man, nutritionist, manager, promoter, and whoever else is involved, right? They need final say on fight week and training camp availability. Like, that's her bread and butter. That is her bread and butter. So that definitely needs to be locked in and understood, right? And the music team, I don't know how all this works again. I'm just me putting together an outline and doing some research. It sounds like you may need an A&R, manager, a label rep, producer, PR counsel. Maybe those people need creative control but must run promotions through a pre-agreed calendar that honors fight readiness. So it seems to be a delicate balancing act for her to be a boxer rapper. And one thing's for sure, both teams must report into a single executive producer or brand counsel to arbitrate conflicts. You see how complicated this stuff starts to get, man? Every lyric, music video concept, and public performance should be pre-cleared by a smaller committee. Boxing rep, label rep, PR brand counsel, and legal. That way nothing gets released on impulse that jeopardizes a fight week or a sponsor deal. Now, that to me just sounds like an effing headache. I'm telling you. It sounds to me like an effing headache. Now, there are some reports about the packaged nature of Shield's deal. Shows the label/promotional integration is already part of the contract. She must demand written approval gates to protect her ring career. So it sounds like there's some of that stuff is already being touched on. But again, for me, it just all seems too complicated. I'm not saying life's supposed to be easy, but you got to put out, so you don't even have the creative freedom you want. Because let's say she wants to put out the edgy music, and then you got the boxing career, and you're worried about brands and endorsement deals. You're worried about trying to, get people to want to trust you and invest in you to come out here and push certain things. It just sounds like it sounds like Pitfall. That's what it's like, the video game Pitfall. You know what I'm saying? Remember the old school game Pitfall? You're just doing your best, man, to sit there, man, and not fall in the pit. You're just trying to just survive. I don't want that. I don't get me wrong. Every day we got to worry about these different pitfalls of life, but why create additional opportunities for you to fall flat on your face. This is me on the outside looking. I don't know who sanitized checked this shit, but I'm sure the people who are involved are way smart. I know a lot smarter than me, and have spent a lot of time discussing all this, and they perfected it. So we just got to see how it plays out, man. But you know, when I think about that, it's like, damn, but all those moving pieces and all this stress and all these headaches, you know, who does she need guiding her in boxing? Because I really think boxing's the bread and butter. You need somebody that's really going to help her with these amplified distractions. Because I'm telling you right now, boxing is non-negotiable. Boxing guidance is non-negotiable. Those should be deal breakers if for some reason she can't have that. So I think she needs an elite head coach who runs discipline, not a celebrity trainer who runs PR. She needs an experienced cut weight specialist to manage class transitions, because Claressa Shields is looking. And remember, this isn't body shaming or anything. Claressa Shields is big. This is the biggest I think I've ever seen her. She's just a big girl now. And nothing wrong with her, because she's comfortable in her body. But again, as an athlete, and me being a guy who was an athlete and worked out, and a lot of you guys are athletes, you know, you shouldn't let, to me, it's counterproductive to allow yourself to really balloon up. She seems to be over 200 pounds. I don't know, but she's a tall girl. She's like 5'9" or something. And she's very thick right now. But anyway, man, she's going to need an experienced cut/weight specialist to manage the weight class transitions, because it sounds like she's trying to come down to 154 and fight at 160, and losing 40 plus pounds and stuff. That shit takes a toll on you, man. When you go into a training camp, your focus is on losing weight and not fine-tuning your skills of getting better. And I've heard every trainer, elite trainer, when they talk about having fighters who put on too much weight in between fights, and when they try to get back in training camp, instead of having a full 12-week training camp, of focusing on getting better, you know, 8 weeks of that is trying to cut the weight. And that overall hurts the camp, hurts the fighter. When they go into the ring on fight night, they don't peak, because they were never able to really, you know, fine tune and get to the point and reach their milestones during training camp, because so much time was concentrated on the weight cut. And then I also think there needs to be a fight strategist, you know, matchmaker, manager who prioritizes legacy fights over quick money. If Shields aims to remain the undisputed champion, you know, especially what she's been able to do across multiple weight classes, but we know she's undefeated at heavyweight. She's going to need somebody with big fight experience. And I hope she stays where she's at, because I don't like when fighters just jump from trainer to trainer. She seems to be in a good space. But let's see how it plays out, because when you get other people coming in and they start influencing you, and you should do this, you should do that, all of a sudden, some fighters will clean house. And to me, when you have an operation, man, that's running like a well-oiled machine, leave it alone. That's how I feel. But we're just gonna have to find out. What I don't want is for Claressa Shields to give total power to a romantic partner or a manager who makes his personal and professional interests without checks. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you this right now. Structure beats ad hoc decision making every time. You got to have structure, man. Her boxing people must be the ones who can say no to a performance or tour if it compromises safety and fight readiness. It's the truth. There should be no flexibility there. If it's going to compromise her safety, fight readiness, in any capacity, you need to make sure that they don't let that happen now. As far as music, I don't know who she needs guiding her through music. Again, maybe a credible A&R who understands artist development, an executive producer who can curate features with respected artists, not just fame chasers. But I really think they need a PR lead who can specialize in crisis response. That's what I think, But we just got to sit back and see how it all plays out. I know that they got this she calls herself Rissa the Goat. That's her rapping name, MC Rissa the Goat, MC RDG. What y'all think about that? And then there was a song called Poke the Quote. So the bottom line, she's dropping music, and now she needs professionalization. So maybe she'll just sit back and let the label scale the craft, not just produce merchandise singles. So let's see if they're gonna fine tune it and see what happens with the music. I remember when Rihanna first dropped a song, that remix, the DJ remix and all that, Ponder replay and shit. That was good, but look what happened when other people got involved. They were able to really curate her and get her going a direction she needed to go. Look at her now. If they would have still left her out there with this, Ponder River, Ponder Bank, and Get Her Red Hot, and Boom Bye Bye, if she would have kept going down that path, I'm not saying it's bad, but she wouldn't be where she is now. Was she a billionaire? Get everything that opened up when she got the right team behind her to really take her the direction that she needed to go. Look at what happened. And maybe Claressa Shields can do the same thing. I don't know. I just know this, though. Music demands, if that shit conflicts with fight demands, kill the music. That's just my opinion. I'm telling you, conflicts are going to happen. Because the promoter, Demetrius Salida, he wants to do what he needs to do and continue. He wants it to be business as usual with Claressa. Now you got Win Records who she's a flagship artist because of her profile. They're going to want to take her and push her to continue growing Win Records. And I'm telling you, a conflict's going to happen. And hopefully Papoose doesn't come out and throw a goddamn book at Demetrius Salida, because you're going to feel disrespected or whatever the hell happens. Could you imagine if there's some huge opportunity on the cusp of fight week for Win Records and to possibly get Claressa Shields out there? And now they're like, we just need you for a couple hours. During fight week, Demetrius Salida going to be like, nah. And they're going to be like, it's only a couple hours, man. No, we'll have her right back. We'll have her right this. They'll say all the right things to get her out. Next thing you know, she's gone for 2 days. Boy, oh boy. How bad would that be? Because now training camp has been disrupted. Fight week has been disrupted. Locking in, getting your focus. Those last little touches they need to do. It gets disrupted. Ooh-wee. That won't be good. But to me, the rule must be simple. We got to prioritize fight readiness. We got to prioritize her health. We got to prioritize our bread and butter. Simple. And to be honest with you, anything within an 8-week window prior to a scheduled bout, that shit gets dropped. I don't care how big the opportunity is. The boxing calendar is rigid. You can't fake conditioning. You can't fake weight cuts. You can't fake fight week preparations, fight week refinements, fight week commitments. You can't fake that. So I just think when they're doing that calendar, I think there should be some blackout periods. And they definitely need to sit there, man, with the music team and take a look and understand that and plan. And unfortunately for the music team, if there's an opportunity that comes up and falls out and they look to reschedule, they got to understand you goddamn can't reschedule it during any fight readiness. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it. It is what it is. During them contractual blackout windows, there ain't no major promotion, ain't no tours, no high energy shoots, no nothing, no little, hey, 2 hours, just come on over here and we need you to do this, make an appearance. Nah, man. We got the blackout windows for a reason. Get out of here. There's nothing to talk about. It's just not up for negotiation. But I just think ideally contracts with the label will include these windows written in with compensation adjustments for time lost to boxing. Because I think that's what it's going to come down to. That maybe is, I don't know, who knows. Let's say they have expect 10 commitments and she can only do 8. Whatever the money was lost out by her not fulfilling those other 2, she got to pay. Or depending on the subsequent shows or appearances, they just take the money and they just collect it then. I wonder if the boxing team's going to have contractual veto power. Because I truly believe, man, a conflict's going to arise where music people demand an immediate appearance during camp, during fight week. I 100% believe that's going to happen. And the boxing team got to be able to knock it off and say, get the hell up out of here, man. They got to have contractual veto power. Without that, you'll see poor performances in the ring, damage credibility in both professions, and Shields is going to, continue in a downward spiral. So we'll see how it goes. She's supposed to return early 2026. But right now, all I'm seeing is music. And on occasion, she'll be on the treadmill walking, or she'll say, yeah, I'm putting in the road work. Yeah, I'm working with that. Now, you ain't in the gym like you were. She's not in the gym like she was. Simple. You can look at her appearance and see that shit. She doesn't look like someone who's in no damn gym. And I don't like that. I like looking at her and seeing. I prefer the one with the Claressa Shields with the 2 cornrows on top of her head. Be comfortable in your own skin. I don't like all this makeup and weave and eyelashes and the nails and all that shit. I don't like that. You an athlete, man. You a 2-time gold medalist. 19 world titles, 3-time undisputed, whipping ass. I want to look at you and see that. I'm not saying that mean you gotta look rough, but nah, don't. What are you doing? I want to look and be like, yo, that right there is the champ. That's the 2-time gold medalist. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, what she's doing right now, she's performing. You guys understand? She's performing. When she's walking around, she's performing. When she's on a treadmill walking, she's performing. Everything is performing. You may say, well, why you say that? Because look at her appearance. Look at the makeup. Look at the hair. Look at the eyelashes. Look at the lip. Look at everything. Everything with her is a performance. She's a walking Mardi Gras. That's what she is. She's a walking Mardi Gras. And I'm going to tell you, performing is draining in a different way than actually training. What Claressa Shields is doing right now, she ain't at no damn gym. She's not training. But what she's doing with this performing, that shit is way more draining than physically training. The traveling, hard on you. The late nights, hard on you. The vocal strain, hard on you. Promotional stress, hard on you. Promotional stress, degrading sleep, hard on you. Being sleep deprived, hard on you. Trying to recover from that, hard on you. Your immune function gets all screwed up and shit because you're all around different people and out and about and traveling, hard on you. How you going to do that and try to get into an active fight camp? I just asked the question. Somebody give me an answer. You'll hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. She's supposed to jump into a fight camp. And they're saying, okay, look, we'll do some low impact promotional appearances, just some sit down interviews, schedule press conferences. We'll just make sure that the physical exertion is minimal. And then you realize, you know what? She can't do a live set for 20 minutes. because she's missed tactical work. She's dehydrated because of all the other shit she's doing. And this whole thing about going on tour, I know Claressa Shields is going to want to go on tour. She likes the space she's in right now. But if she's going to do it, I mean, cool, but it should happen in long off-season windows, at least 8 to 12 weeks from fight night. Running both at once is a formula for mediocrity in the ring and cheapened credibility in music. And I'm just telling you, for me, I just think the fighter who tours during training camp loses focus, and the artist who fights under rehearsed loses fans in both worlds. That's why, for me, I just think Claressa Shields needs to just stick to boxing. And for those of y'all saying, nah, man, she can do it both, man. You don't know. She's the GOAT. She can do it. Well, I don't know. I guess we got to sit back and see, because right now it don't look like she's working, because like it's working. Because she's talking to boxing, she's talking to music. And it looks to me like she's putting on weight. She doesn't look as athletic. She looks out of shape. And the weight fluctuations, it's not because she's a heavyweight. That's because she's heavily immersed in things outside of what she should be locked in on, and that's boxing. And I think it's dangerous. I don't think it's strategic. These weight fluctuations, I don't think it's strategic at all. I think the shit's dangerous. Weight swings matter, people. We know Shields has moved through weight classes and even to heavyweight. And that flexibility is damn impressive, you know. But large, rapid weight gains and losses can cost speed, cardio, long-term health. I'm not making that up. A deliberate plan moved up, gaining controlled muscle mass, functional mass, recalibrating power and cardio, is different from yo-yoing between 40-plus pound jumps in short periods. She is a big girl. And I'm not body shaming her. I'm just telling you from what I'm accustomed to seeing. You know how bad I felt for her to see her doing this, taking a picture with Papoose, and then he's looking at her belly and she's looking at her belly, and I don't know what to say, and all of a sudden she sucks it in. And she's there smiling, and he has his little weird smile on his face. Then all of a sudden, when the moment's over, she goes, and she blows it out, and then that belly just kind of falls over the goddamn panty and everything, and she there looking like, oh, thank God. And I said, that's a bad sign when your belly over the pants waist. I said, that's a bad sign. To where she's now seems to have this awareness, so much concern about her appearance, that she's sucking in the stomach, and then with the same camera that's recording her and the same camera's taking pictures, she don't even wait till they turn the camera. She just, oh, thank God it's over. And now I'd rather have her come out there with the belly protruding and somebody be like, hey, Claressa, you looking kind of healthy. And she be like, yeah, I know my ass got fat. I'm out here eating good, enjoying life, but don't worry. I'll be all right. Don't worry about me. I know what I'm doing. Ha, 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 ha. What? Pat, tell him, Pat. We know what we're doing. Eating that mac and cheese. You know Pat can make catfish. You from New York, Pat. What you doing making catfish? You from there? You ain't supposed to make catfish like he make catfish like grandma. Pat. She shouldn't be worrying about that bullshit. Enjoy yourself. Live your life. But don't lose focus. I hope this weight gain. You know what? I didn't even think about it. Maybe the weight gain is for music and lifestyle reasons. Maybe that's what it is. Anybody ever thought about that? Maybe that's all it is. And then there's going to be an attempt to start to cut that weight off for a fight. But I'm telling you, if that's what it is, she risks burnout, poor recovery after sparring, and metabolic stress. That's not good. But that said, strategic weight gains for permanent movement up the divisions can be beneficial if done slowly with strength and conditioning oversight. Just putting on weight, because it's what the record label wants you to do. I don't know about that. She ain't getting ready for a movie, so why put on this weight? But I just think the safe path, decide on a long-term weight class and make gradual body composition changes in the off season, but don't get too carried away with it to where it's like you're at the point of no return. And for a lot of fans watching her, they feel that she's almost at the point of no return. That's why there's so much public chatter about massive weight gain, and that's becoming that's become the headline. It's not even a headline risk anymore. That shit's become the headline. So the team should preempt it with transparent medical plans that show measured professional transitions. And if she does everything under scrutiny with the right people, I think she can avoid the psychological burn, because when you're managing two high pressure lives, there's going to be some psychological burn, And I'm just telling you, I know a lot of you would agree with this. Mental energy is finite, you know what I'm saying? It's just not a whole lot of that. Running parallel high-stress careers produce chronic cognitive load. Rehearsing lyrics, writing verses, filming, dodging social media heat, plus fight strategy, sparring, and weight maintenance. That's a lot, man. That is a lot. So hopefully she got a mental performance team, man. And some boundary setting executives, man, to just limit her access. But I'm just worried about the compounding stressors and how that could degrade her nutrition, decision-making, sleep. All of a sudden, she has poor training decisions, and anything she does is going to be public. She can't afford to have public missteps. And overall damage the brand that she seems to be so focused on trying to grow right now and polish up. This isn't hypothetical, man. Many crossover experience identity friction where the artist self and athlete self pull in different directions, you know what I'm saying? So we just gotta wait and see how it all plays out. So it is what it is, man. But let's see if she can attract the sponsors, and if she does, I think sponsors will reward wins. I think they're going to punish confusion. I think she needs to really understand what she's doing. She doesn't need to have any knee-jerk sponsors kind of enter and exit her life. That's going to be exhausting. And she needs to know that her brand is working. They need to have some kind of measurable success metrics to be like, okay, this is working what we're doing with the boxing, this is what we're doing with the record label, because they need to be able to define success early. But they got to figure it out, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I used to be a project manager, so I understand how you can use a dashboard and schedules and then week-by-week engagements, and I also understand, revenue tracking, so we can make fast decisions on different things. In her case would be maybe touring, single releases, or fight rescheduling. I've done all that shit, so I know how you can apply that to Claressa Shields in her situation. But all I'm telling you is if the music revenues rise, the boxing training, if the price of what she's doing is rising, I just think when it comes to and if the interest in her drops, there's going to have to be a big time recalibration, because somebody's going to lose some money, you know what I'm saying? So they can't just be out here looking for the viral spikes. They need some consistency. They really do. I keep talking about a 90 days, 6 months, and 1 year kind of roadmap. It probably needs to be more of a 2 year roadmap. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of sit back and observe and see, how things are working out, and just refine as necessary. So I just think they really got to have a really good balance with the marquee opponents for boxing and whatever they're gonna do with the music thing. So worst case, best case endings. I don't know, man. Best case, Shields becomes a multi-platform superstar who monetizes music without sacrificing elite boxing performances, which is what we're hoping for, but I don't know. She can be like Layla Ali, try to get into philanthropy. Maybe she can use that to broaden her appeal and leaves the sport with legacy intact and a diversified revenue portfolio, and that would be outstanding. But, worst case, poorly timed music releases, inflammatory content, and touring during camps, which leads to elongated losses in the ring, sponsor desertion, and a fractured public image. A slow erosion that's expensive and emotionally draining. She doesn't want that to happen. I just think the difference is discipline, counsel, and willingness to sacrifice short-term viral wins for long-term legacy. She got to finish this chapter, man, with a strong, to me, declarative line about what fans want. They want a champion who respects the ring and the platform, and that's something that Claressa Shields needs to understand. So, the bottom line, man, fans are judging this moment 100%. From me listening, they're judging Shields by patterns. It's not even the headlines. They're just looking at the way she's moving. These music video stuff, man. Let me tell you something. One music video or one viral line doesn't define Claressa Shields. It doesn't. People are watching how she sequences decisions, who she hires, who she's dating, who she's, praising, who she's trying to tear down, what fans DM she's kind of, eased her way into to insult them or argue back with them because they said something she doesn't like. They're looking at all that. They're looking at all that, man. They want to know if there's going to be any discipline imposed, like the things we talked about in this video. There's all the things that are going to be going on, man. But I just think if she can remain disciplined, use her platform to uplift and times music around fights, the right kind of music, not this shit with the inflammatory content, I think she'll likely expand her brand successfully. If she lets the music demands erode camp, the ring will tell the true story, because that means somebody gonna put the bing bings on her. The bottom line is, people are watching Claressa Shields. Some are rooting for her, some are neutral, some want her to fall on her face. But for me, and the members of my channel and the viewers and subscribers of my channel, the majority are rooting for her to do it right. They are. They're just like, this ain't it. And you got to understand, like on my channel, I look at the demographic, ain't no damn 16 to 23-year-olds, man. I got a couple 24 to something, but the majority is like 35 up to age 70 something on my channel. So the demographic are people who have experience. And that's why when you sit back and look at her, they're looking at her and looking at what's going on. They're like, nah, this ain't it. This is not it. And they don't like it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, she got an $8 million deal. Just got to wait and see how all that plays out. The numbers sound good. The deal sounds good. And everything just sounds good. But, we're going to find out if she's being truthful or not. I think over time we're going to prove if she's a fighter who actually can go on and become a superstar. But I think that's going to depend on how she balances music and boxing. And it's like, yo, can't she have it all? Rap, fight, make that Wu-Tang cream? I don't know. But then it's like, yo, is she going to allow this music to kill her boxing career? But only time will tell, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, y'all know what time it is for me. Time to go put in that road work. Y'all keep cool. Go ahead and do my 1 hour run up these damn hills. Y'all enjoy your day. I'm in the breeze.